Good morning. Thank you. What a glorious day and what a beautiful venue for our celebration today. Welcome to you, the family and friends of this summer 2019 Baylor Law Commencement. We gather today to rejoice and celebrate. This is a significant milestone in the lives and the careers of these men and women who are standing before us today. Gaining admission to Baylor Law School is quite a feat, but to survive and then to thrive, well, now that is an accomplishment, and for that we applaud you. I'll ask you to stand as Professor Quarles comes forward to lead us in the invocation.
Will you join me in prayer? Heavenly Father, thank you for this day of celebration and for this momentous occasion. Thank you for your faithfulness in providing each of these graduates with the tenacity and endurance to successfully complete the rigorous course of study at Baylor Law School. Thank you also for those who have played a significant role in helping these graduates along the way, including family members such as parents, grandparents, and spouses, and also including members of the faculty and staff of Baylor Law School. Thank you for providing these graduates with the opportunity to obtain a legal education. May they never forget that it is a privilege to serve in the legal profession. And with this privilege comes tremendous responsibility. Your word assures us that from everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. Use each of these graduates to improve others' lives, and in so doing, to always bring you glory in completing the work you give them to do. May they perform their work with excellence and with the utmost professionalism and civility, always acting in the best interests of their clients. I commit each of these graduates to you, God. I ask that you bestow favor and honor on them. I ask you that you help them all the days of their lives to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with you. I pray all of these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please be seated. Graduates, today is your day, and I invite you to reflect on your life's journey thus far. Think about all that you've experienced, all that you've endured, and all that you've conquered to bring you to this day. Please know that we are very proud of each and every one of you, and we know that your family is as well. And as you think about this journey, I'd like for you to think about the reasons that brought you here. Now, just as I do before you show up at orientation, I read your personal statements again last night. And here are some of the things that I found. This is why you came, and it was so moving to me once again. Your stories are just filled with personal and professional triumphs, all the way to tragedies. Those are the things that moved you to come here. So here's some words from your own personal statements. You wanted to have the potential to change the lives of others in a positive way. You wanted to make a difference. You want to give hope to the brokenhearted. You want to passionately advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. One said, I want to inspire and lead to equal opportunities for all. One said, I believe that deep down we all share a calling to make an impact. So moving. And especially you mamas out there, please know that on the first day of orientation, I tell them just what Professor Quarles mentioned, that this is a privilege. These seats that they have earned grant them a significant privilege. This degree, the training that they have received here, give them opportunities that so many others don't have to make that difference. But then I say, and what does your mama always say? What comes with great privilege? And what's the answer? Great responsibility. That is our profession. That's how it should be. And so you give me confidence in the future of our profession. So please know that we are so grateful for your decision not only to enter the practice of law, but to come to us at Baylor Law School for that foundation. We're confident that you, as Baylor lawyers, you are prepared for the challenges that we know you surely will face in the practice as you are representing clients. We also know that the impact that you're going to have on your clients and your communities will be meaningful and it will be significant. The oath that you will take, that we all take as lawyers, it gives us an obligation to serve, but it also gives us so many opportunities to make a difference. The foundation of this country is based upon a democracy, and we, as lawyers, we are the keepers of the rule of law, which is the foundation of that very democracy. And that's true regardless of your practice area. Your careers will take you in so many different directions, and it doesn't matter if you go to the courthouse and you are advocating for people's lives and property interest, or a transactional lawyer. You are also protecting the rule of law. In transactions, you'll be entering into contracts. You'll be drafting those contracts, negotiating those deals. And your clients know that in America, that means something. It will be enforced. So all of you, regardless of the direction that your career takes you, you are the keepers of our democracy. And we're going to be so proud of you. You're going to be providing reasoned guidance and direction that will enable your clients to make decisions in a more informed perspective. We know that you're going to be leading in your communities. You will be playing an important role, just as every lawyer throughout history has played an important role in our society. And we're looking to you to do it better, even better than what we're doing as a current generation of lawyers. So thank you for what you are doing. We as lawyers, we are not the only defenders of our life and liberty. We want to recognize another group that lay down their very lives. They provide a cloak of security for all of us, and I'm speaking of the military. So as a tradition in our graduation ceremonies, we ask all of you in the audience and those in our class, if you have served, currently serving, ever served, please, in the military, please rise and let us thank you for your service. And that includes those in our class. Thank you. And as we are recognizing groups, there's another very important group that's played a significant role in the lives of our graduates. Family and friends, we know that this journey that they have been on, they have been supported all along the way by those of you who are here to celebrate with them today. So again, as is our tradition, I'm going to ask the graduates to stand, turn around, find your family, and let us all thank you. My colleagues who are seated up here on the stage to my right and your left have been honored by the graduation class. They've been selected to participate. So let me do a quick introduction. I point you to the program. Their bios are in the program, and you'll see just how impressive they are, and so I won't read those. Just to point out a few things about each one of them. Professor Quarles, who gave the invocation, is truly a valued colleague of ours. You can see in the program that he runs the library, but it also has reference to some other significant tasks that we at the law school have asked him to take on, and he's done so magnificently. But what that says about him is he truly is a go-to person. We need a job. It's a big job. It's a hairy-ass problem, and we need it taken care of. We know that Professor Quarles is going to take care of it for us. So we thank Professor Quarles for all that he does for us. I will also add that he is the faculty supervisor for the Christian Legal Society, and so I know as I've cursed from the podium in this house of God, so yes, forgive me. But that is us as lawyers. We are tough, and sometimes we have expressions that just say what we need to say. But I want you to also know that in this community, he is known. He's actually given sermons at churches, so he is also a go-to person within this community and certainly within groups within our community. So he is so representative of all of our faculty. Speaking of, seated next to him is Professor Fusilier. Now, being someone that is height challenged, as she and I are, I can tell you that she might be short in stature, but oh my goodness, is she a giant in the classroom. Do you agree, class? Absolutely. She's respected and she's revered for the time that she takes. She truly is an incredible teacher, but it's because she also cares about our students individually. She reaches out to them. So she can be their biggest cheerleader, but she can also be tough as nails. When she was in the courtroom, she was tenacious and known for her vim and vigor in the courtroom. And you see that from time to time, especially if you're not living up to her expectations. You'll see that side of her as well. Her warm and smile and her charm just makes her, she just endears herself to all that have the opportunity to get to know her. So Professor Fusilier, again, we thank you for all that you do for the law school and for your students. Professor seated next to her is Professor Greg White. He is also recognized and respected by our students for his valiant amount of time that he spends with them individually and collectively. And he also can be one of those tough, get up and go, whatever you need, a kick in the pants or a pat on the back. He can give you what you need. And that is our job. And so we are so proud of all that he does for the Baylor community. So again, thank you, Professor White. To my left, you have assisting with the diplomas, Assistant Dean of Career Development, Angela Cruz-Turner. Again, can't say enough about all of our faculty and staff. She worked countless hours. She is up at that law school all hours of the day and night. Her years of experience in the practice of law have made her well suited for her counseling and guiding as she is there to help on your journey to find that first step for you right out of law school. And then just as we are all here all the way through your careers, we're here for you, whatever it is you need. She's also another person within the law school that if we need something done, we know she'll get it done for us. So I personally thank her for her creativity. I can't tell you how often she is fighting for you. If she sees something that needs to get done, she is looking for creative ways to help us get it done. So, Angela, thank you so much for all you do. One more group to acknowledge, and then we'll get on with the program. We have some of our faculty and staff here with us today. And as the graduates know, about a third of our faculty, including Dean Tobin, they are over in Scotland. Now, they're not just having fun, although I know they're having fun. They are there as part of our Academy of the Advocate, and they are there with some other faculty from across the nation with 70 students, some from Baylor, but also from all law schools all across the nation, and they are there training in Scotland. Now, they had a dinner with the graduates just a couple weeks ago. I've lost track of time, because they wanted the class to know that they are here with us in spirit, and wanted them to know personally how much they appreciate all that they've done and how proud they are of each of you. So I ask all of the faculty, both on the stage and in the audience, and the staff, to please stand and let us thank you for what you do day in, day out in the law school. It's our custom to ask the highest ranking student in the graduation class to address his classmates. And so I call upon Mark Sigmund to deliver his remarks.
Thank you. Well, we finally made it. We persevered through 3 years of law school, practice court for a lot of us, the bar exam, and yeah, even Professor Corden's bad jokes. First off, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me this awesome opportunity to come here to Baylor Law School and to become a lawyer. I was also fortunate enough to have an awesome practice court partner who has probably the best mustache out of anyone here. So thank you, Sam, for making practice court tolerable. I would also like to thank the hardworking professors and staff here at Baylor Law School. Thank you so much for all the hard work and dedication that you put into teaching us the law, preparing us for the future. Thank you for your guidance and your mentorship that you provided me as well as my fellow classmates. I want to provide a special thank you from all the students on behalf of myself to Professor Gwynn, the Godfather. Thank you so much for all of your hard work and service over the years. I will leave here with many fond, well, at least interesting memories. I vividly remember the second week of my law school career in Professor Fusilier's class when she called on me the day my daughter was born. I think whenever I stood up and the expression on my face, pure deer in the headlights look, gave it away. So luckily, I think she went pretty easy on me. Now, many of you know that I was in the Marine Corps before coming here to law school. I thought the days of being forced to do push-ups and being forced to work out were long behind me. But little did I know, I was completely wrong about that. I'll always think back to the last day of practice court when Professor Powell in his white suit made me do push-ups in front of my classmates while saying the business records predicate. I would also like to thank my friends and family for coming all this way to celebrate here with us today. Most importantly, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Brooke. Without her continual support, I would not be here where I am today. Thank you for taking care of our 2 children and somehow still finding time to support me and be with me. Now, as I was trying to figure out what I should write for my last law school assignment, after taking a 3-day bar exam, needless to say, my mind was pretty shot. So I decided to stick with what I know. I learned 3 important things in my time in the military, the core values of the Marine Corps: honor, courage, and commitment. And I tried to live by this code throughout my time at Baylor, and I saw those same values in the Baylor community every single day. Honor. This is something the Marine Corps, and yeah, even practice court, made very clear. Always keep your reputation intact. That's all we have. Despite the constant pressure to succeed in such a competitive environment, everybody kept their honor intact, and the camaraderie within Baylor was second to none. Courage. All of you made the difficult decision to serve in such a challenging profession. You decided to come to Baylor Law School and go through practice court with Professor Powell and Wren and Professor Fraley. Instead of playing golf your 3rd year like we should have been doing, you came to Baylor. You're forced to speak in front of your classmates with professors gently critiquing you along the way. That takes a lot of courage. Commitment. I was always amazed at the commitment I saw during my time at Baylor. Several of you drive from out of town every single day to make a class at 7:45 in the morning. Many of you have families and children. A lot of you were there with me in the mornings at 5 a.m. getting ready for practice court. That takes commitment. But you still made the decision to commit to this profession and to get through one of the most rigorous law school programs in the country. In conclusion, I'd like to end with this. Congratulations to all of you and your families. Good luck in your future endeavors, and Godspeed. Thanks, and Gig'em.
Thank you, Mark. Honor, courage, and commitment. We watched Mark. He did live those words when he was here at Baylor Law School. And I have to add one more note. Professor David Gwynn Mark referred to him as the Godfather, and I always cringe a little bit when people refer to him as the Godfather because I need you to understand what that means. What that means is he is that benevolent kind of Godfather that we all look to. We all look to. He is our wise sage in the law school, has been teaching for 53 years. Sadly, he's about to begin his last year. So this will be a very special year for us, and in some ways a very sad year for us. But it's important to me that you all understand, especially since you know a little bit about practice court and there's this concern about rigor. We don't really have that kind of Godfather in our building. It's the good kind. It's the good kind. As Mark said, Baylor Law School is not an easy road. So again, we always commend our students for choosing Baylor because we know, based upon their talent and their accomplishments, they had many choices, but they chose to come here. That says a lot. So family and friends, you need to be again so especially proud of your graduates for stepping up and taking not that easy road, but to come to Baylor Law School. But we know that will make a difference, and we know that you will not only be lawyers in your future, you will be leaders. People will look to you in all manner of ways, and that has been our tradition. Since the opening of this law school in 1857, we have excelled at preparing students for the rigors of the practice, but also knowing that they will go out and make a difference, and they will be impactful in the way that they choose to live. So when we think about, and let me explain just a little bit about practice court, because I think you've gotten one version of practice court from your grads. Practice court is the way that we allow our students to practice in a safe environment. Now, it might not have felt safe to you at the time, but it really was, because there was no client's real life or property interest at stake. So when you messed up, and we all do, right? When you mess up, question is, as a lawyer, how are you going to recover? What's next? How do we do it better next time? So family and friends, that's really what practice court is all about. And we know that along the journey, as they are being pushed in ways they don't think they can handle, as more is being asked of them that they think they are capable of doing, we know they're capable. And we know that along the way, it's building integrity and trustworthiness and conscientiousness and attention to detail. All of those things that we need our profession, we need our Baylor lawyers to live out as they represent clients and as they lead in their communities. So the Marine Corps, we have actually been called the Marine Corps of law schools. And I love what Mark said. It is about honor and courage and commitment. Now, I think that practice court thing has a little bit to do with that moniker that we've been given. But I like to think of it as we share those core values because we do understand the obligation that our students are going to have. So again, thank you, students, for choosing us. And we want you to know that we are so proud of you. Now, many of them are still a little fuzzy-headed because they've done this thing called the bar exam for 2 days ago, for 3 days. But I also need to point out that we have 2 in this class that did not take the bar in Texas. They took the bar in other states, and they are here. So I saw ZZ fly back in yesterday afternoon. I didn't see Sam until this morning, but ZZ flew to Alaska, took the bar, and came back to be with us. Sam went to North Carolina and got back last night. So I don't want to embarrass you, but stand up and let us thank you for being with us. That says a lot about the relationship of the Baylor class. You will have lifelong friends from this class. That is the Baylor way. We're so proud of you. Let me move on to the introduction of the speaker next. And Dr. Brickhouse, I've not yet introduced her. I will save that for a little bit later. We're so honored that she's here with us as well. But it's my privilege to introduce the Honorable Alan Albright, who's chosen by this class for this commencement, and you've done a fabulous job of choosing a speaker for today. You can see his bio. He is the new federal district judge in town, and that carries a big stick in the legal world. But what you don't know from reading his bio is that he himself was a very successful, exceptionally successful trial lawyer before leaving practice to come join the bench. And the only indication of that is in the bio, it says that he has been elected to the American College of Trial Lawyers. In our profession, that's a big deal. And he has earned that place in that prestigious organization because of his success and his talent and his gifts as a trial lawyer. So we know that he will bring that experience to the courtroom. And we know, we've gotten to know him now for about a year now, we know that in his court there is high energy. He is passionate about the rule of law. He is committed to seeking justice that is fair and equitable. So all of this works to create a very positive culture in the courthouse. And for that, as citizens of this community, we are the beneficiaries and we are grateful. We at the law school are also beneficiaries. We are so grateful for all that he has already done. He's only been here for a year, and yet anytime we need him, he opens up his courtroom, he comes and judges in our competitions, and he hires our law clerks. He's on his 4th law clerk from Baylor, and Mark is going to start with him in just a couple of weeks. But not only that, and yes, wait, there's more, he also is helping us with the other new judges. He's putting in a plug for us. So he is introducing us through Angela and the Career Development Office to other new judges, and they are also hiring our graduates as clerks. So we are so thankful for all that he has done and the support and the mentoring that he's giving to our students. So with that, Judge, we appreciate all you're doing, and I call you forward for your remarks.
Wow, that was pretty cool. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the summer class of 2019. I can't tell you what an honor it is for someone whose parents never even went to college to be here. Okay. This is my first commencement speech. Now, I hate to brag. I did get to give a talk when my kids were getting out of pre-K. But I was just to some of the other parents. My fiance and my sons are here. Why? Because I forced them to be here. And because none of them believed that this school would actually invite me to give this commencement speech, so told you so. Let me begin by thanking God for being allowed to say anything in a church as spectacular as this one. Good gosh. And everything that, thank God to everything that given me, my family, and to you and your families. And I'd like to thank Dean Tobin and Dean Teague and Provost Brickhouse and all the law professors at Baylor for extending your invitation to me. And I think it'd be appropriate if I invited all of the fine graduates here to stand up and turn around and applaud the people who really matter today, which is your parents and family who got you through these 3 years. Every single one of you who are sitting right here in front of me is the future of our profession, the future of our state, the future of our country. I've only gotten to live in Waco for about a year, and I can tell you we are in good hands. Now, I'm going to start this speech with some slightly bad news for your parents and you in a way, because all of you have just invested. I've heard all about the practice court, blah, 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 practice court. I hear that all the time. I get it. But I want you to know that in some ways you may have invested an enormous amount of time and treasure in the finest law school in America without knowing the one little secret that could have saved you from all of this. I'm going to let you in on it right now. If you had only downloaded the song The Gambler by Kenny Rogers, you would have known everything that you need to know, because what he says is you've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be enough time for counting when the dealing's done. Now that easily could have gotten you through the first 10 years of being a lawyer. It's pretty much every lesson that any lawyer needs to learn and all the words you need to know. And what you all are thinking now is, well, if that's all we need to know, then why don't you just sit down and we can move on? But I'm a federal judge, so I would never sit down and not take up this time. So I'm going to try and give you some life advice. You just heard from Mark Sigmund, who's an absolutely terrific young man. And I have the incredible privilege and honor of getting to have him as one of my clerks next year. That's because I always try and have people working for me that are smarter than I am. That's one of the big keys. And I didn't start with Mark. Mark's taken the place of another Baylor Law School graduate named Stephen Burbank, who was also the top of his class. And so I want you to know that when I got nominated, and that was a very long time ago, I came to Baylor Law School, and they say, "You're not from Waco. Why are they letting you be the federal judge?" And I said, "Just give me a chance." I said, "I'm going to make a challenge to you. If you all will commit to giving me the very best students to be my clerks, I will always have a Baylor law student as a clerk." And I'm doing it. But I only have so many clerkships. So I had to reach out to other friends who are judges and say, Baylor Law School is amazing. And other Baylor Law students have been hired by my friends who've gone on the bench. But the bottom line here is surround yourself with bright people, and you want them to constantly challenge you. You want to be as smart and do as well as they do, but they'll learn an equal amount from you. A little side note, my best friend is named Scott Thomas. He's the general counsel of a multi-billion-dollar company. And why do I bring him up? I bring him up because he previewed this speech, and after he read it, he got angry because he said, "Why didn't you list me as one of the really smart people that you surround yourself with too?" So I'm going to be able to tell him I said his name. So the next thing you need to know is you should always, always, always follow your moral compass. Now, it sounds easy. We're in a beautiful church. How hard could this be? I promise you, if you practice long enough, at some point you're going to come to a crossroads where you have to make a decision about which path you're going to take. There will always be an easier path or something that in the short term may seem to be the better path for you, something that might help your career, something that might help your client. But you can tell it's not the right thing to do. It's a hard decision to make, but always make the decision that you can wake up with the next morning, not the one that is expedient. Life is about making hard decisions. This is the most, I'm going to say this about 12 times, but this is the most important thing I'm going to tell you. You only get one chance to lose your credibility. One. You never get it back. You never get it back with opposing counsel. You never get it back with the judge that you're in front of. You only have one chance to maintain your credibility. And if you throw it away, it's gone forever. Always have the courage to follow your moral compass. Next, I will tell you this. You need to love what you do. I've done my very best not to talk about myself during the speech, which is hard. But if you talk to my family or my law clerks or anyone who knows me well, they will tell you that I love my job. I loved being a trial lawyer. I loved every single minute of it. And I love this job even more. If you love what you do, you will be great at it. If you don't love what you do, go find something else. Life is too short to do anything else. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I would go to work in this same job on Monday. I would have a lot more bikes, a lot more bikes. I have too many bikes now, and I would have even more. But I would never give this job up because I love it. If 20 years from now, history judges my performance on the bench favorably, it's not going to be because I'm super smart. I'm not. It won't even be because I hire really smart clerks, and I do. It's going to be because I try every single day to channel my passion for what I do into the way I do it. I walk up to my courthouse every day and look at the front of it and thank God. Next, learn to listen with empathy. I mean, really listen. Take the time to listen to great speeches. Listen to Supreme Court arguments. Find a great minister and go to church and listen to great sermons. Listen to your children. Go visit your grandparents and sit down and just listen. They have all the wisdom in the world. Take a walk at sunset and see if you can actually hear the sun setting down. If you're talking, you're not learning. If you're listening and really listening, you probably are. From a personal point, and I mean this with all my heart, if you're in a courtroom, sort of like when Jesus told Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times, and he did. I'm going to tell you this, and you're going to ignore me, but I'm going to promise you this is true. When you're arguing in front of a judge, you can't help but think, what am I going to say next? What am I going to say next? That judge is probably telling you what he wants to hear. But unless you're listening and not thinking, you're not going to hear it. And there's nothing that frustrates me more when I say something to a lawyer or ask a lawyer something and I get the answer that he was already ready to give, because I know he's not listening. Next, find balance. Now, every one of you has spent the last decade spending every single second you have, maybe longer, trying to be the very best student wherever you were. All of us did. So as a result, I'm sitting in front of 70-some kids who are like bombs ready to explode and go be the best lawyers they can be. They can't wait to get there and bill the most hours and do the most work and win the biggest verdict and do the biggest corporate deal that's ever been done, or whatever your definition is of greatness. I get that. And I encourage it. Go be as great a lawyer. I want every one of you to leave here thinking, I'm going to be the greatest trial lawyer ever. And I hope every single one of you is. Balance. Being a lawyer is a great profession. I've done it for a really long time, almost 4 decades. But there's a lot more to life. Take care of your kids. Spend time with your parents. Learn how to play the guitar. Write the great American novel. Because of this phenomenal law school that you're graduating from, you already know how to take a depot. Do any of you know how to weld? Do any of you know how to do macrame? I don't know why you would, but maybe it's just something you'd like to try. But the bottom line is balance. Bob Dylan once said, life isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. You want a life that is as diverse as possible. If you get the opportunity to take a deposition in some cool place, I know you've got to be in Waco for 3 years. You think you've seen it all. But, there are other places out there. If you get to take a depo someplace, stay an extra day and go see something. You may never get back there again. Go do something with that trip. Take on a pro bono client, not every week, not even maybe every year, but take on a pro bono client, someone who needs help, who can't afford it. Not for them, but it will make you a better lawyer. And even more importantly, it will make you a better person. Read more. You're going to have so much to do, and you're going to be reading so much. Read a biography, read a history, read whatever you can get your hands on, because your curiosity should exceed your grasp. Do whatever you can to learn more about the world. Exercise. I'm 60. Our profession has way too many people who are my age who have never taken care of themselves. They're great lawyers, and they don't have a lot of time left to be great lawyers. Take care of yourself. I literally wrote the best opening argument I ever gave, and I gave a lot of opening arguments. The best one I ever wrote, I was running on the Charles River in Boston the morning we started trial. And it just came to me. I didn't write it down. I just went and gave it. It's healthy for your brain to stay fit. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm getting there. There's some kids sitting on that front pew who are amazing. They are the best kids ever. They're just sitting there quietly. Follow your heart. You'll have victories. You'll have defeats. Some of each you'll earn. Some you won't. Don't ever let either of those things define you. Embrace your victories, no matter how large or small. Learn from your failures, and then turn the page. Each and every one of you sitting in front of me has the power to transform our profession and to transform our world. But you can't do that if you dwell on what you've done in the past. All of you have the most valuable gift God gives us. You're young. You're brilliant. You've worked really hard. But God hasn't quite given you the one gift that you most cherish. And that's wisdom. Because wisdom comes with age and experience. And you're all going to get it. You're all going to get there. Remember this. A page of history is worth a volume of logic. And the truth is, while you're practicing law, there will be times when you look upstairs and you say, God, forget it. I don't want to be wise. I just want to survive. And that's the point. That's what's going to give you the wisdom. You should always treasure your memories, but don't dwell on the past. Life is about moving forward no matter how great you do in a trial or how badly you do in a trial. In the future, you can always do better. You should always want to do better. And the amazing thing is, you always can do better. I'm almost done. Let me give you some big brother advice on being a practicing lawyer that my friend Tom Melsheimer, who is maybe the finest trial lawyer I know, he and I came, well, mostly he, but I had to fix it. But here's something to always remember, and it's hard. This will be hard. Never personalize anything you work on. And what I mean by that is, no matter what the opposing lawyer is like, never make it personal. Never stoop to anyone else's level. In my opinion, if you lose your temper while you're practicing law, it's the greatest sign of weakness you can ever show, especially if you show it to the other side. Put yourself in the other side's shoes. Always, always, always place a premium on being civil. And why? I'm not telling you this because it's moral or the right thing to do. It is. I'm telling you because it's the best thing for you to do, and let me tell you why. Because you never know what the future will bring. And what do I mean by that? When I went through this process, the FBI interviewed over 150 people I had practiced against. They were trying to find out if I would be okay as a judge. And had I not treated everyone, in my opinion, I always tried to, in a way that was the right way, they would have found that person. And I might not be here. The person you're opposing today may turn out to be the general counsel of some billion-dollar company, just like my best friend. Is he going to remember you as the person he wants to hire or the person he would never hire in a million years? And I think I am living proof that anyone can become a federal judge. And there have to be a couple of lawyers right now who can't be thrilled about that based on the way they treated me. Not like I remember. So, let me wrap up with a little bit more of the gambler. Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. Because every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best thing you can hope for is dying in your sleep. Now, that's a little great, but still, pretty good advice. Let me wrap up with this. I don't have to tell any of you to go out and work hard. None of you would be sitting here if that wasn't in your DNA. I don't have to tell any of you to try and succeed. I could tell you to dream big, but that's what got you here already. I could say, go out and change the world. We're going to hear that for the next year and a half in the presidential election, so I'm not going to do that. Most of us don't even make our own beds. I'm going to leave you with this. Live life fiercely, but always be kind. God bless you.
for a first commencement. Wow, it was wonderful. Thank you, Judge. So graduates, you heard him say, find your passion, listen to learn. Be intentional about your priorities. And it brought back to mind something that Professor Quarles included in his prayer and that is engraved on the side of our building. Micah 6:8. Do justly, love mercy, walk humbly with thy God. It truly is what we expect, what we know that you as Baylor lawyers will do. So now, the one person on the stage that I've not yet introduced, and she is a very important person to this law school because she is Dean Tobin's boss, which makes her boss of all of us. We are very privileged to have Dr. Nancy Brickhouse with us. She is the provost of the Baylor University. Now, what that really means is she's the chief academic officer for the whole university. So the whole academic side of the operation, that's her operation. And so we are very appreciative, because you can imagine how many graduations she has related to universities. So we are very appreciative that she's here with us on this Saturday morning. She is new to Baylor, sort of. She has just completed her 3 months in her position as provost, but she's really coming home because she is a graduate of Baylor University. Now, in between graduation and now, she has gone on to have, as you see in her bio, significant success and lots of experience that she is bringing home to Baylor. So we are so excited about the vision that she has for Baylor University. She and Dr. Livingstone they're encouraging, they're requiring us to think big and bold and bodacious for the future of the university. And for those of us who have had the privilege of getting to know her and to work with her already, we are very excited about that vision. We know that we have a bright future ahead of us, and we know that she is the right person to lead Baylor University in this goal, this mission to be known as a Christian research university that will build on its strengths and will use these new opportunities to bring light to the world and to do it in our way. So we are so appreciative that she's here, and I invite Dr. Brickhouse to address the class, and then we'll move on with the conferral of the degrees.
I believe I'm the only person on the stage without a law degree. But it is an honor to be here today and to just offer my congratulations to those who have already spoken, and spoken so eloquently about the role of law in society and its importance to our democracy, fundamental to our democracy. But I won't go there because everybody has already spoken so eloquently about it, and I think you already know it. But one of the things that President Livingstone says that I would like to remind you of is she likes to say that the world needs a Baylor. And I would just add to that the world needs you. In a world that is broken, where people are hurting, I'd like to repeat what Leah has already quoted, that what God requires of you is to act with justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. So that is my prayer for you. This is my first slogan. But the feelings of you and the feelings of in this room are actually pretty overwhelming. But we are actually here to confer degrees. So I'm going to suggest that we get on with that. And I will bring Dean Teague back up to the lectern to get us started.
Thank you, Dr. Brickhouse. We are so privileged at the law school to always have such a wonderful working relationship with the administration. So I will just let you know that at Baylor, we have needed Dr. Brickhouse, and we look forward. We know she's going to be here with us for years, and we look forward to getting to know her better and to to establishing that traditional, wonderful working relationship with her. Okay, candidates, please rise. This is the moment. Provost Brickhouse, the candidates standing before us have completed the requirements for the Juris Doctor as prescribed by the faculty of the School of Law and by Baylor University, acting through the authority of its Board of Regents. It's my pleasure, it is my honor to present this class to you for the conferral of the degree.
Based upon the recommendation of Dean Tobin, Dean Teague, and the faculty of the School of Law, and their certification that each of you has completed the requirements for your degree, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of Baylor University, I confer your degrees. Congratulations. And please be seated.
Okay, as we are moving into place for the actual, the graduates coming to the degree, as Jerry's putting them in place. All right, so this is audience participation time. Our graduation, we are so fortunate that we're able to make this a fun and festive occasion. And even though that we are in this beautiful church, please know that we are going to judge you and your love for your graduate based upon the decibels that you raise as they come across the stage.
Carlos Eduardo Alvarez. Sion Augustus Alford V. Cody Aaron Bonda. Ashley Alexandria Bigby. Christine April Brock. Devin D. Clute. Lincoln Allen Floyd. Andrew Leslie Harding, magna cum laude. Robert Hudson Holguin. Madison Alexandria Humphreys. Samantha Lee Lifesti. Samuel Christopher Lombardo. Our next graduate has earned the distinction of Leadership Development Fellow, Taylor A. McConnell. Grant Andrew McDonald. Sahil Nuruddin, magna cum laude. Cheyenne Lynn Osceola. Emily Harding Owen, cum laude. Waipavi Ashwin Palmer. Zingri Elise Perry. Melissa Marie Pulido. Samuel Theodore Scott, Jr. Joseph William Shaneyfeld. Nicholas Wayne Shodrock. Mark Douglas Sigmund, magna cum laude, highest ranking student in the graduating class. Samuel Benjamin Simmons. David Warren Thomas. Shay Christine Umphrey. Andromeda Vega Rubio.
As she's making her way, let's applaud them one more time as a class. Class, you, as we tell you from the beginning, Baylor lawyer, it's a capital B and a capital L, and you have earned that title, and we are so proud of you. As you've heard over and over again, we are so proud of you because we know the opportunities you're going to have based upon this degree that you have just earned and the training and the support. You know you always have us. So as you go on and you do good things, and we know you're going to do great things, lean on us as you have during these last 3 years. Know that we will always be there for you. And we want to hear from you. We want to know what wonderful impact that you're making. I'd like to thank, to end, and let me again thank those who participated. And what a special, I got to tell you, these students, they are special individuals. I know we've said that. We're proud of you. It's because we know you and we know how special you are. So from the bottom of my heart, so proud of you and thank you. But I also want to recognize what a wonderful speech. And Dr. Brickhouse, thank you. And the emotion is real because this place is so special and this moment is so special for you and for us. So thank each of you who participated today for making this truly a memorable and special morning. I also want to thank Jerry Cunningham, our registrar, for all that she does and this morning in putting this together. Meredith Meyer and Susie Daniels, y'all all know her. The graduates know all of them. What a team we have. So let's thank them and all those who helped this morning. And our thanks to the organist, Mr. Hank Corello, for providing the beautiful music this morning. Thank you. And once again, thank you, family and friends, for being here to share this day with us. We are so appreciative of you being here. Now, we are about to do a processional, but I want you to know that we're going to go out, and don't be surprised when we come back in, because our favorite place to do the class photo is right here in the front. So if you please rise for the recessional, and then we'll see you in just a moment.